once again to this webinar. We are really excited to host this webinar, for our partners, exclusively for partners today. So this session will be a live discussion. So our team of Zoho People experts are here to answer all your queries, to listen to your feedback, your thoughts as our partners. Now, this will be our agenda for the session. So, back in January, we had a very similar, a wrap-up webinar wherein we had introduced our roadmap, our plans for 2021, and we had also covered the milestones that we've crossed in 2020. And we also had an interesting survey, and many of you had responded. So, thank you once again for that. And based on your feedback, collating all your responses, we are yet again hosting this live discussion one more time. You had asked for many periodic discussion sessions like these, so thus we have it today. And this session, the main agenda is all about answering your queries. So think of this webinar like a quick catch-up session, wherein as teams we meet together and we talk, we discuss things, we get all our questions sorted. We can all be in the know on what's happening in our in our respective circles. So that's the main aim of this webinar. So for the agenda, I'll quickly list out the features that we've released in the past 6 months. So a quick glance at the features that we've released from Jan, and then we'll move on to see, take a look at the new features that we'll be releasing soon in Zoho People. So what's ahead, what's cooking in Zoho People. And in the next session, I'll be sharing some of the expectations that we have, that we excuse me. So some of the expectations that we have on you. So what kind of support that we expect from our partners. And in the next session, we listen to your thoughts. So what kind of support you require from us, or any questions or any queries that you got on Zoho People, or maybe on our roadmap, or on the features that you are expecting us to release and all of that. So we have our expert panelists, and you can get all your queries sorted. Now, if you're all on mute now, you can use the questions pane that you see on your left-hand side menu to send us over your queries. Our team of experts will be answering them live at the end of the webinar. So let me quickly introduce the team. So we have Vijay Saravanan amidst us today. So I'm sure you all know about Vijay. So he's our product expert, to put it simply. He is our solution consulting manager, and he'll be answering all your queries today. And also at the back end, we've got Reena today, our product marketing manager, the mind behind all the marketing activities that we are doing at Zoho People. So we have Reena with us to, discuss our marketing activities. And I'm Annie. I work for the Zoho People team as a product marketer, and I also handle partner relations. So I'll be your host and speaker for the day. So let's start now. Let's start with all the features that we've released in the past 6 months. So how was the year for us? How were the past 6 months for us? Let's take a look at all the major features that we've released, starting with continuous reviews. Now, this feature, was drastically different from our usual or our conventional method of, appraisal management. So instead of, reserving reviews or ratings for just a month in the whole year, these reviews make it, all the more continuous, and these reviews make it all the more continuous as well. Moving on, back in February, for our learning management solution, we had introduced pre and post course activities. So these are activities that can be, taken up by a joiner before the course and also after the course as well. So before the course, in terms to check the eligibility, the level of knowledge the learner has got before enrolling for a course, and after the course to check to check the level of knowledge and the employee has gained after completion of the course. So as of now, we've got tests as part of pre and post course activities. We'll soon be introducing other modes, other set of activities to this list as well. This is my personal favorite feature, the onboarding and LMS integration. So, this feature is all about giving your new joinees the right training at the right moment. That is the time in which they need it the most. So, all the courses that we create in LMS, can be tagged to different new joinees based on their departments and designations, and this is a great way to start learning, to facilitate learning right from day one. Moving on, as part of assignments in LMS, we had introduced two different modes to submit assignments. File attachments and inline submissions are now, available while learners submit their assignments. Moving on, back in May, our report space, it went through a major change. It got a major makeover. So all the reports that were usually under different modules, under respective modules, are now grouped together, are now available in one central place, so that you can access all your reports, from one page. So not just consolidating these reports, but we had introduced certain reports that puts employees in the forefront. So these are employee centric reports, that give you insights about employees attrition trends, even about the workplace trends, the workplace diversity as well. And particularly for the US region, this mandatory report, the Equal Employment Opportunity Report, is now readily available in Zoho People, so that you can submit this, available as a ready to use report for the US region exclusively. Moving on, a new feature to accommodate shift changes in Zoho People. So when many shifts are not, discussed with or pre-planned based on employees' priorities, when employees have the need to change these shifts, they can simply request for a shift change. It can be followed with an approval process, and all of this can be accommodated, easily managed within Zoho People. And a very new feature that we have recently launched, Leave Grant. Now, this feature helps you grant additional sets of leaves for your employees. So, apart from the set or the fixed entitlement, when employees need an additional set of leave, when they have the need to extend, their leave counts, you can simply do this with an approval process on a case basis. And just like how we create leave types, you can create grant-based leave types in Zoho People. So this is particularly useful for special leaves like, COVID leaves, even childcare leaves like paternity and maternity types of leaves, that require an extra amount of care, or, that differs on a case-to-case basis. And another feature that is that was very recently launched, normalization. You can have an ideal score range, a rating range, and all the ratings that your employees get can be normalized easily to fit that ideal range using normalization. So this is a much awaited feature. In fact, many partners have been requesting for this feature. So normalization is live now. And also EPH fields. So this makes Zoho People, adds on to the elements of HIPAA compliance as well. So sensitive information like, health details, health records can be maintained in Zoho People in a secure way. When I say secure, these fields can be encrypted and stored in Zoho People. And also on duty, particularly very useful during tough times like this, while employees are away from their conventional workplaces, many hub offices are open now, many away from workplaces are available now. So employees, while they are work, maybe in a client's location, maybe in their field, they can mark their presence. Their presence can be captured using the on duty feature. Again, with a simple approval process. Employees can request for on duty, and this can be managed with a simple approval process. So, considering the COVID times in mind, our team of developers have launched certain features that are extremely supportive, for businesses during tough times like this. That will help businesses cope with times like this. So, one such feature is the facial recognition. So, this came out just in time when biometric systems were about to be shelved because they were a potential threat. They were a hotspot for this coronavirus transmission. So this facial recognition is really safe and secure, and also with all the accuracy, it can capture check-in and check-out. So this is available for both the web application and the mobile application as well. And moving on, the office readiness solution. So many businesses have been trying out office readiness to resume back to their work safely in a secure way. And we had introduced a report wherein managers can easily view their available and their booked leave balance, their booked seats in a particular building, and then they can act upon the approvals or the requests that they get to work from the office. So a simple report that will give you information to act upon your work from office approvals. So that's all about the features that we had released in the past 6 months. I'm sure you found these features to be useful as well. So before we move on to the next session, let me quickly remind you all, we want this session to be interactive, very interactive indeed. So it's a live discussion for you all. So any queries you have, please use the questions pane that you see on your left-hand side menu. Our panelists are waiting in the back. We will be answering them live at the end. So please add your questions to the question space, and we would love to discuss things with you. So moving on to the next section in the webinar. So what are the new features that are in queue? The new features that we'll be releasing in the next few months. Let's take a look. So starting with time and attendance, we'll soon introduce shift patterns. So usually in Zoho People, we'll create shifts manually. So we create shifts manually, or we import shifts, or we use the automatic rotation method. But with shift patterns, you can set a predefined pattern, and that will be applicable for employees over a specific period of time. You need not manually change these patterns every time, but it will be applicable. It can be planned and be made available for future dates for different employees as well. And we'll soon be launching location tracking. So under different intervals between a check-in and a checkout entry, employees' locations will be tracked. So not really live location tracking, but intermediately between different periods, these locations will be captured and updated automatically in Zoho People. So breaks now available in attendance will soon be available in timesheets as well. So paid and unpaid breaks and all of these will go into timesheets approvals and billing as well. And all the changes that you make in terms of, time and attendance, any check-in, check-out entry, or any change in any entry, all of these will be recorded as a quick log, as an activity log, and this will soon be available for both the time and attendance modules. Moving on to leave. Now, this is a feature that many partners have requested for. So I'm sure this would make a more favorable release for you all. So work days or leaves will be credited based on the number of days an employee have worked for. For example, an employee has completed 20 days of work in the previous month. So only if they complete the set number of days, they'll get a certain number of days of leave credited. So based on the number of days worked, their leave will be credited. So such a system will soon be available. And we'll also have a predefined a gallery for holidays. Instead of manually creating your holidays, or manually creating them from scratch for every year, you can have a preset gallery. So we'll have a set gallery. You can pick in holidays from the gallery. They can be recurring. The dates will remain the same, but the days will change based on different locations and all of that. So we'll have an interesting holiday gallery available for different locations as well. Moving on to employee management. So in terms of managing employees, we'll soon launch a career history feature. So using this feature, all the changes an employee goes through in their life cycle in your company. So this is a complete feature to track the history of an employee's life cycle, all the changes that they go through, all the career changes will be recorded in terms of employee management, and also transfers. So when there are openings internally, when employees have the need to move to different teams within the organization, internal transfer requests can be raised. And while administrators assign ID numbers to employees, they can use different prefixes. They can automatically generate different prefixes, using Zoho People soon. Moving on to performance management. Now, we already have an existing integration, an active integration between the performance management solution and the learning management system in terms of skill set. So this will be strengthened furthermore. So all the skill set updates, once they finish a course, will be updated in the performance module soon. So we are working on an integration as such. And we'll also introduce target-based goals. So other than quality-based goals, these are more like quantifiable goals. So only when an employee has completed a certain number of items, or maybe completed a certain level of goal, all of these details will be captured in the appraisal process. And just like capturing salary hikes in Zoho People, we'll soon launch a feature to capture promotions, to propose promotions in Zoho People, and most importantly, objectives and key results. So this feature is to, excuse me. So now, the objectives and key results, consider them as cascading goals. So they flow from one level to the other. So for an example, a set of goals will be set on an organization level, and then they'll flow on a departmental level, and then to an individual level. So not just standalone goals for an individual, but goals that will move through different layers and levels in Zoho People, to give a more wholesome view in tracking these goals will be available soon. And our learning management solution will soon be SCORM compliant. So we're already working on this, and it will soon be SCORM compliant. We'll introduce different modes of capturing your questions and assessments. The descriptive and the drop-down modes will soon be available. Just like how we have user specific settings in our attendance and time management, for files we'll be coming up with user permissions on an individual level. In terms of feedback, to bring about open feedback systems in different organizations, we'll be launching a survey system, a standalone feedback survey system that can be attached to different use cases, to different modules, whenever it is required. And ENPS surveys will soon be launched. So these surveys will be completely anonymous. It will be an open and a straightforward method to collect feedback from employees, and it can be sent out on a periodical basis as well. Now, we've been working on many integrations, and one such integration that you can expect to be launched soon is the Microsoft Teams integration. You'll get real time notifications in Microsoft Teams via personal bots and channel quick comments. So, real time information about approvals in terms of holidays, leave and attendance, all these details will be in sync so that you'll get all these news while you work on your Microsoft Teams account. So far, I had shared all the product updates with you. The activities that we are doing on the product front to make it better, to make HR processing a breeze. So these are the activities that we are doing in the marketing front. So any updates that we get, or any effort that we put in terms of marketing, we feel that the partner's part in it amplifies it it takes it to the next level. So that's exactly why we require your support in terms of content, in terms of webinars, or in terms of sharing the word, in terms of spreading the word and all of that. So please take a look at some of the activities that we are doing in the marketing front, starting with brand building. So apart from the many avenues in which we are, promoting Zoho People, we'll soon be launching a podcast episode. It will be available in a familiar or a very famous podcast platform soon, and we'll be covering HR topics that are on trend. So, other than speakers from inside of Zoho People, other than our own HR folk, we'll also be collaborating with trending influencers out there in the market, regional influencers who can spread the word, who can make the episode all the more interesting. And in terms of partners, we would like to refer you, in our blogging, so you can put your years of expertise, your knowledge in the HR field into blogging. You can help us, guest blogs and release posts, and so that we can also feature your websites in our blogs that we release from our sites. And similarly, the content that we generate in Zoho People, our blogs and infographics, all of these can be shared in your websites as well. So this would, bring traffic to channels from all these different sources, and it will definitely amplify the effort. And we've also been exploring, different methods of content marketing. Particularly, we've been focusing on content generation via blogs. So on a particular month, we usually generate about 4 to 6 blogs. I'm sure you're all aware of our HR Knowledge Hive space. So it would be great if you can contribute to the space. You can share the articles. It's got some interesting topics that are in trend among the HR audience. So it would be great if you could share or contribute, to our content marketing activities as well. And we've been hosting partner webinars. So back in 2020 and in 2021, we've been jointly hosting partner webinars. Many partners have requested for this, and we've contacted many partners to host these joint webinars. And the results are amazing. In fact, even in September, we have a webinar, scheduled with a Vietnamese partner. So if you would like to, be featured in our webinars, do let us know. It would make an interesting webinar experience for our clients and our customers as well. And as you all know, we've been looking to make Zoho People compliant, compliant to all the different laws out there, region-specific laws. So it would be great if you could share these insights, these compliance insights for us that would, make the product better, that would make the application more compliant. And all these insights, when we get from regional partners, they would be more accurate. It would be more easy to incorporate these compliance-related features into Zoho People. So like I mentioned earlier, your part as partners, they amplify the amount of effort we put, which which we are really happy with the amount of cooperation that we are getting from you. So these are some of the things that we expect from you, as our partners. So when you reach out to your clients or your customers, we can always help you with campaign support. Similarly, if you require support from us in any terms, in any by any means, you can always let us know, and we are open to help. And also, in terms of podcasts and webinars, like I mentioned earlier, we would love to host this together, which would have a greater impact. So we can definitely take the brand to the next level in these different platforms, explore these different platforms together as a partner and as a team. And in social medias, we are actively available. So whenever we have important events, or whenever we have important news to be shared, or even the blogs that we announce, you can share our content, and spread the word and make it available for your follower base, your user base as well. And as regional partners, you can share your insights, based on the analysis that you do, based on the client needs that you get. All of this can collectively make a great difference in the application. And when you find online events, interesting events, you can let us know so that we can co-host it together and even co-promote online events as well. And you can let us know of industry experts, particularly regional experts that you feel who have a great influence on a regional audience. So such influence, we can reach out to them and we can schedule webinars, or we can involve them to talk about Zoho People. And while you work with your clients, when you get requests for out of box, very unique use cases that are actually out of box, you can let us know of such referrals, so that other customers, or other potentials who look out for such referrals, would be benefited from such unique use cases. So other than use cases, you can also help us identify good customer stories. So for the clients that you've been working with, if you find anybody's story to be compelling, if you find anybody's story to be interesting, you can let us know. We can also feature you in our testimonials, in our case studies, and that would be inspiring for other customers, for other partners as well. So that's all about my part of the talk. So it's your time. It's time for the live discussion now. So we have our panelists Vijay and Reena at the background waiting for your queries. So I see many queries have come in. So now let's start answering your queries now. So I'll be projecting the queries, and I'll be reading the queries out loud to Vijay so that Vijay will answer it live now.
Yes, Annie. Yeah, we can start off with a question. And once again, I welcome all the partners for the live Q&A session.
Okay, great. So let's start the session now. So first question from Arun. So I hope you can all see Arun's question. So hi Arun, and his question is this, Vijay. Will a provision to retrieve deleted records be available in the future? That is like a recycle bin. A lot of customers seem to be requesting this if they delete a record by accident in order to retrieve them.
Yes, Arun. So I do agree that that's one of the most useful one that what like the end user can expect. So we do have that as part of our roadmap, like to bring in the recycle bin to a place where the deleted records can be retrieved. So also we are extending that to the configurations as well, so that any change in the configurations can also be revoked. So such things will be definitely part of the system. So we'll keep that posted. So as of now, it's in our roadmap.
Okay, Vijay. So, Arun, I hope that answers your query. Moving on to the next question. By when will the attendance based leave feature be made available to customers?
Yes, so I think they are referring to the attendance working day based leave entitlement. So that's again as part of the roadmap presentation. You have just explained that. So that's again part like you can expect that by this year end. So where the the leave entitlements as of now it is currently based on a monthly, yearly, and so. So you'll be having an option to consider the previous month or previous year's working days. Based on that, the leave entitlement will be calculated.
Okay, great, Vijay. So moving on, we need an API to get performance scores, please.
Okay, I think we do provide a lot of APIs for performance. So I'm not sure which API they are referring to. Maybe if you can give us a specific, we can able to assist you on this. Yeah.
Okay. So Mustafa, you can write to us on this, and we can help you with that particular API. Moving on, in the user report API, we need to know if the leave is paid or unpaid.
Uh, Regarding the user report, yes, I think there will be an option called a type. So under this type, it will retrieve the what is the leave types, like it's a paid or unpaid. So currently the leave type you can define as a type. We'll call it as paid, unpaid, and all the other options, right? So there you can able to get those details. Maybe you can refer to the API's response once. If not, you can write to support and we will definitely assist you.
Okay, great. Moving on. Are there any plans to provide a provision to add fields to the location form in Zoho People in the settings? Customers have indicated that they want to add additional fields about various locations which they operate in aside from default fields.
Yes, so we already started working on enhancing our location form. So as of now, it is a system form which contains some default fields like you'll be having the location, which country part of this province and the time zone. We also extending that to bring in the location address, even the geo-based pinpoints, you can add that. And maybe if you can share some specific what type of fields they can they can they are expecting, so we can able to add that so that it can be as a system field and we can see that it can be added as a system field and it can be used for the other customers as well. Then we will see that how the customization can be open for the location fields.
Okay, great. Moving on, we need applications like Zoho Kiosk to enable stations for attendance.
Yes, again, Zoho Kiosk, that is one of the recent update that we are about to launch. So we'll be bringing in a Zoho Kiosk app. So maybe using that app, say currently we do support multiple check-in modes, right? So we have web check-in, we have biometric check-in, and we also support the facial-based recognition. Like you can just take a snap of your face and automatically it will match based on your profile photo in Zoho People. So that is specific to the user. But if they wanted to do a bulk, what is it, bulk photo like bulk check-in, in that case, like you can place, you can install the Zoho Kiosk app in the applicable device, maybe in a tablet or a laptop somewhere. You can place it at your office entrance so that whenever an employee comes in, they can just log in. They can just log in there and like they can just come in there and they can just post to the photo. So that based on the what is it, photos that is uploaded in your account, it will get matched and the user will be checked in. So this was the enhancement that we are working on. Again, within the settings, we'll be giving you a specific portal access where you can just go and create a login access for that. So you need not to have an admin access for that. We are even differentiating from admin for here, so that only for this particular activity, so that you can log in and you can set up the kiosk app at the entrance. So it can be as a multiple also. You can. It's not that only one app for an organization. You can even have. You can install that in a multiple places and all the check-ins and checkouts can be parallel.
Okay, great. Moving on. Regarding geo restrictions, can we add location to work location?
Okay, I think they are referring to the work location field in the employee form as an automatic geo restriction. So we'll definitely take this as a feedback, Mustafa. Yeah.
Okay, great. Hi, Sabri. My suggestion is we have already one module called onboarding, and same as please create new module for offboarding like exit process.
Yes, that's again sounds like a plan. So already we do have that in our process. So we are working on a exit module. So where you will see a system module similar like the leave or onboarding. We'll be also having an exit module. To give an overview, it will just consist of your resignation request and your clearance and all the other system reports. And you can also pull in the HR letters, like what are the letters related, the experience letter, the service letter, so everything. So that's something we are working on, and we are analyzing different use cases so far. And we will also give an early access to the partner to gather the feedback.
Great. Moving on. Are all the mentioned new features targeted for release during 2021?
Uh, yes, Gulpit. So that's the plan. To all the mentioned features we are targeting for this end of this year.
Okay, great. Another question from Gurpreet. Homepage dashboard customization, adding new components, creating custom dashboards. Are these on your roadmap for release soon?
Okay, so as of now, we provide a bunch of dashboards based on the module that's been enabled, and we also have opened up the dashboard, customized dashboard for the advanced analytics integrated users. So those things is currently it's possible, and we will see that how the dashboard can be customized because general ways the HR needs the HR will has to decide what type of dashboard that the organization can see. So we are bringing in that option as well, so that organizational wide, the dashboard can be a static one. So we'll see that if we can bring in a custom dashboard provision as well.
Great. Moving on. Are there any plans to have a provision to restrict viewing privileges to certain form or services based on the employee's role? For example, currently a form or service can either be disabled or enabled, meaning everyone, irrespective of the role, can view it.
Okay, so I think they are asking about like what to say the applicability option for a service or a form. So currently, a service can be enabled or disabled across organization, and also based on the permission, the data layer alone can able to be viewed or it can be restricted. So applicability section, yes, again that we are working as part of our service enhancement. So within a service, you can able to add an applicability section where you can add based on a department designation or a location or a specific user as well. So this will be applicable even for a service or specific to a form within a service also you can able to create that. So that will be the first applicable layer for a user. So whenever say if a user is part of the HR department, they wanted to, it's been applicable, a form has been applicable to them. So based on that, the form will get listed to the user, and based on the permission, the data will be viewed by the user. So that's a two level what to say layers that we are bringing in. So that you can see as part of the service setting enhancements.
Okay, moving on. Synchronizing leave and attendance status to Zoho Click would be really useful. Is this planned?
Uh, yes, already we do support our check-in, check-out status that can be what do you say accessed from Zoho Click. So are they asking about say if the user is checked out, then automatically is the status needs to be changed there? Yes, that's how it is. But the attendance like Zoho Click away or available status that will not be in sync with Zoho People.
Okay. Next question. We need to set a setting page for each customized services.
Uh, Setting page. I think I'm not getting the question right. Maybe I think they are referring to the customized service for a setting. So already we do have a setting page for every service. So every service has a setting page. Within the setting page, you can able to change the logo. You can able to change the service owners, and also you can just work on the forms, your automation and approval. So not sure what more they're expecting on this.
Okay. Zoho People Sandbox have been highly requested. Is it on the roadmap?
Yes, so this is on the roadmap. So you can expect that we are planning to have that by Q1 of next year. So similar like the sandbox functionally what we have in CRM, we are also planning to bring in within the scope of Zoho People.
That's great. Moving on. It would be great to integrate Zoho sites with Zoho People to be able to have an intranet solution for companies.
Uh, Okay, so that's again something a weird request. So we'll see to that. Maybe you can just send us with more details and for us to understand better and help you out.
Great. Moving on. Are there plans to update Zoho People design in the near future?
Uh, yes. So we are eyeing to have a next version. So five Zogo People 5.2, and again it's very too early to comment as of now. And it will not be only a design change. We are working on to what to say handle it or to what to say to compile the product in a better way. So that will be one of the major items that we have started to work on.
Okay, great. But the kiosk is only working in Workally, not Zoho People.
Yes, as I said, we are about to release the kiosk app specific to Zoho People. It's not something what we are referring to the existing one. So you'll be having a kiosk app specific to Zoho People, which we are planned to release maybe in a couple of months, so that you can utilize that and install it.
Okay, moving on. Is there any plans to improve the language translation functionality in Zoho People?
Uh, Language translation, yes, so already we do get seek some help from partners on the language translation. We are working on the localization concept. So like say if there will be multiple users, right, multiple users with different languages within an org, so in that case you cannot name or a label name specific to a what to say specific to a language. So in that case you can go and add multiple languages. For every language you can translate it and you can enter that, or else you can use our default translation as well. So based on the user's account's language, automatically the respective language will be picked off. So that is a localization concept we are working on for all our system fields, form names, services, and all the across the product.
Okay. Magnus, I hope that answers your query. Moving on to the next question. Are there plans to add map dependency for pick list or drop down fields in forms in Zoho People?
So I think they are referring to the ID. So currently we don't have that ID concept within the drop down or pick list. We directly ask the user to enter the text or the items in that particular items. We'll check on this dependency. I will check on this thing. We'll take it as a feedback.
Okay, great. Setting pages parameters variables.
Uh,
I think this is regarding the API
API
question.
questions, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, you can pick up the what is the parameters based on the field names or even the form names, and you have a copy functionality as well.
Okay, moving on. Is there any option to do auto sign out or check out after 6 to 8 hours later, or give a pop up if more than 8 to 10 hour?
Uh, Auto checkout, yes, auto checkout is possible. So using our auto checkout option, you can able to define when the auto checkout has to be done, and even it can be also be customized. The pop-up, we don't have an option for a pop-up where within so and so hours the checkout has to happen.
And Gurpreet has elaborated on her previous query. So these are the things required in Zoho Click Vijay. Auto update attendance status, also auto reflect leave and public holidays in Click, on duty attendance info also.
Okay. Sure, Gurupit. We'll just consider this. We'll just take to this to our team. Yeah.
Okay, great. Cancel individual days on a leave request for when employees are on holidays but need to come back to work earlier than expected. Currently, we can only cancel the whole leave request.
Mm, okay. So these cancel requests. So currently, it has been canceled as a whole leave application can be cancelled. So we'll bring in this functionality of canceling with a permission layer, so that the user can either cancel the request and they can even modify it. So we'll bring that functionality to the user level as well.
Okay, great. So moving on to the final question for the day. It will be useful to have a default integration with Zoho Recruit where candidates can be pushed to the candidate form in Zoho People from Zoho Recruit so that they can undergo candidate onboarding in Zoho People if required.
Yes, Arun. So that's one of the important item under the scope of People Plus that what we are working on. So that the candidates once been hired, so we already have an option to convert candidate as an employee from the Zoho Recruit, right? So we will enhance more on that, and automatically we'll see that the candidates details in Zoho Recruit with all the details which is got during the interview process, right? We will push that to the candidate form in our onboarding. We will definitely, that's one of our important item, work item, that's part of our the People Plus enhancements.
Okay, great. So we have another question. Increase the amount of performance records. Currently, only the last three are available. Is on the roadmap.
Increase the amount of performance records. So I think they are referring to our performance what to say, performance, some listing about the performance management. uh, okay, we'll just see that, but if you can elaborate more on what actually our expectation, we would able to assist you. Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you, everyone. We hope we had answered all your queries. So we'll wait for another 5 minutes. If you've got any more queries, please write to us. We'll be live for the next 5 minutes to answer your queries live. And meanwhile, let me quickly roll out a poll. So if you like the webinar, if you found the webinar to be useful, you can let us know. And we also have a quick survey at the end of the webinar. We really love to listen to the feedback that you got, the comments that you got. So any kind of support that you require from us, or any feedback that you got, again, further more queries, you feel free to share in the survey section. We would love to listen to you. So I have my poll active now, and meanwhile, let's answer the rest of the queries. So, Vijay, another question from Gurpreet. Could you elaborate on the upcoming shift patterns functionality if possible?
Okay, so shift pattern functionality, like currently, if you want to define a shift, right? Say if you want to define a shift for futuristic days, so it has to be manually imported. So now within the shift pattern functionality, we are planning to have a shift pattern. You can just go and define the shift pattern that is specific for an organization. Not only creating the shift and the applicability, even to define the patterns when the shift will be there, what type of shift on Monday or what type of shift will be applicable for Tuesday. So based on the shift patterns, you can able to map the shift patterns to the applicable users, so that automatically, so for that particular user, you can able to define shift pattern A for first week and shift pattern B for the second week. So automatically the shift patterns from the masters will get applied to the user. That is one part of the enhancements. And the other things, we are also planning to have the flexi shift, within a day, like having more than differential shift within a day, and even the flexi shift within a week as well. So those are the enhancements that are planned.
Okay, great. And we've got another question. Clients request to be able to see all performance evaluations. Currently, only the last three evaluations can be reviewed.
Okay, yeah, that's again one of the questions we even got in our partner wall. Okay, so that we will definitely consider that. We already considered that, and we will enhance and to have and to what to say and to have some archival policy for our performance evaluations cycles, and we'll even showcase that within the user scope.
Okay, great. So I think we've answered all the queries, Vijay.
Okay.
So let me wait for you all to attend to the poll that I just rolled out. And also, please spare a few minutes to answer our survey for us. So, Vijay, we've got another query. Will pagination be part of future APIs?
pagination, we have to check on this. We'll definitely check on this and get back. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So thank you, everyone. It was a very interesting session for me. I hope it was interesting for you as well. And we have another question incoming from Magnus. Many companies struggles with Microsoft SharePoint in order to create their intranets. To integrate Zoho People with Zoho Internet would be very helpful.
Okay. Uh, yeah, we'll definitely take this as a feedback, and we'll see that what possible integrations that we can extend within the Zoho internet. Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's it for the day's question.
Okay. So yeah, I once again thank everyone for all the questions here. I think one more question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any plans to roll out a global payroll system anytime soon?
Uh, we already have Zoho payroll. Like we already have Zoho payroll for a few of the regions. Like we have for India, we have for few regions in US. Again, rolling out for a global will be a challenging, right? Because every country and every country, every state within the country have a different payroll concept. So I'm not sure if we can accommodate globally, but we can extend the payroll system for our mostly used regions. That would be the enhancement as part of the payroll product.
Okay, great. Another comment from Mustafa. I'm making the payroll now for Egypt.
Oh,
Good
that's
luck with
great
that.
news. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I guess we'll end the session. Vijay, thank you so much for answering all the queries, Vijay. Very clear as usual.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the session. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
And dear partners, I'm really glad to meet you all virtually today. I hope you found the session to be useful, just like how I found it to be useful. So please be in touch. You can always write to us, for any queries you have, for any kind of support that you need. And thank you for answering the polls as well. I'm glad you found it to be useful. And please take a few minutes, please spend a few minutes to answer our survey for us. It would mean a lot to us. Thank you one more time. Stay safe and have a good day.